latest race day here at the Red Bluff Outlaws in Northern California for points race number 6. Super excited to get out here on the racetrack today. Yo, I got a fan that wants to be in the video here. Anyway, super stoked. That was Brody Reynolds' dad. You guys know Brody, young beginner box stock driver, always in the videos. That was his dad, Justin Reynolds. Anyway, like I said, we're stoked to get out on the racetrack here for points race number 6. Dad, you ready to get after it?
Get after it. Let's get her done today.
Absolutely. So we're going out pretty deep for qualifying. You guys kind of saw the first clip of the whiteboard. We are literally rolling off like 42nd. So 203 total entries here in the pit area at the Red Bluff Outlaws. That's a good sign that outlaw carts are super healthy here in Northern California. So if you've never seen some of my Red Bluff Outlaw videos, we always start the night out with qualifying, get 3 quick laps. We're going to be going out deep because we pulled the 95 pill. But like I've been talking about, last race of 2020, let's finish off on a strong note, and we're going to get the night started now. Well, we ended up 10th quick here out of 45 opens tonight at the Red Bluff Outlaws. Going out that late, it wasn't that we couldn't lay down a good lap. It's just that much tougher. The track slowed down just a little bit, and I just wasn't able to hit my marks perfect enough. Jimmy gave me a great car, though. Like I said, we were just that close to being in the dash, probably about a 10th faster, and we're right there in the top 6. That's going to line us up to start second row inside for the heat race. Wanted to give you guys a quick look at the racetrack because the bottom has a little bit more banking this week. That's kind of what they're trying to do to help the bottom have a little bit more speed. And I think in these heat races, you're really going to notice that. So anyway, we are going to be rolling off in heat race number 5 from the second row inside starting spot.
Holmes and Grassy got together. Here comes Williams to the inside for second.
Braden Williams trying to make something happen. Into the side and upside down. Oh my, what just happened?
Well, I came here to the back of the trailer to just take a second after that heat race. I don't have any other words other than we just got flat out wrecked. Started second row inside. As I talked about before the heats, the bottom was going to be really good in every single heat race. One on the bottom, one on the bottom. Transfer cars were running down low, and unfortunately we got into second, and a yellow came out with 1 lap to go, and I knew that was just a spell for disaster. I had to run the top into 1 to just, you know, not cause any issues going into 1, because if I ducked down low, the third place car was kind of there, and I got just enough of a run after the third place car almost ran me out of room, and I went to block the bottom and just got yard sailed. 77X drove it over the Lego box, left side on the inside wall, and just pretty much killed us. No other way to describe it. We went from being in a transfer spot to now sitting in the D main event. So we're gonna move on to that. I don't really got anything else to say. My mom always taught me if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So you guys can tell I don't need to explain nothing to you. Like I said, just got wrecked, and now we're gonna have some alphabet soup to go through. So D main event's gonna be up next. I'll keep you guys updated throughout the night, and hopefully we can transfer through each main and make it back to tonight's A main event. It's gonna be a lot of work. So we did make it through the D main event at the Red Bluff Outlaws. We started 5th, ended up running 2nd, which it's so important even in these lower mains if you're in a transfer spot to try to go as far forward as possible, because the more cars you pass in that main, the less you're going to have to pass in the next. So on now from the D main event, and we're going to be rolling off from 12th in the C main event, just making some last minute adjustments on the race car. Unfortunately, I'm all undressed early tonight. Did not make tonight's Open A main event. We're gonna kind of recap the roller coaster, disaster, and everything that happened here at the Red Bluff Outlaws for points race number 6. First off, I want to apologize. I feel like this vlog just wasn't very good. I did not have proper help tonight. Usually Bennett's here and he wasn't able to make it because he had a family function. So I was all on my own tonight. And with everything that happened with qualifying, then the heat race, and then having to run the alphabet soup, it was just a complete disaster. So let's get into recapping it here in just one moment. So obviously our night is over at the Red Bluff Outlaws for points race number 6, and there's a lot of things for us to quickly talk about that I didn't talk about earlier in the vlog just because of all the mayhem and chaos and everything that was happening very quickly. When you get involved in an incident in the heat race and you have to turn around for a D main, there's not really a whole lot of time in between because of the high car counts and the quick show that Red Bluff runs. First, let's discuss the heat race, and I'm just going to kind of lay out all the facts on the table and let you guys make the judgment for what your thoughts were on the situation. So I called it before the heat races. I knew the bottom was just going to be really, really good. There was more grip down there than the top, and everyone had ran the top in qualifying, which had burned off that lane a little bit. So I rolled off from the second row for my heat race, and it's one of those things when I walked up to the lineup board to see who was in my heat race, I just was like, oh dear. I had a few guys in my heat race that just have a history of being desperate and making moves that can end in a disaster. So I knew in our heat race we just were going to have to be careful and try to get as far to the front as possible to stay safe. So with myself starting second row inside, I quickly actually jumped into second because I rolled the bottom on the first lap. Clean passes, made our way into second and was keeping pace with the one of Chance Grasty as we pulled away from the field. And then with the lap and a half to go in our heat race, it looks like we're definitely going to transfer. Top two are going to be heading to the A main event. A car running in the back broke or something happened and he spun out, which caused a late race yellow. And this situation's like obviously not that guy's fault, but because of whatever broke or him spinning out at the back of the heat race, that caused a late race yellow for someone to do something desperate to try to make the A. So I started on the outside. I got a phenomenal start for the top because it was just so dirty. I was trying to clean it off under yellow, but since everyone's running down low, throws marbles up there and it makes it really tough to restart. So I ran the top into one to try to protect myself from anyone possibly running into me. Off exited 2, the 77X tried to slide up, gave me a lane though. I was able to clear him down the back straightaway and go straight to the bottom because everyone was fighting for down there. If I run the top into 3 and 4, I 100% get past. And the 77 hit me in the back bumper on corner entry. So he gives me a shot in the back on corner entry, but I still don't miss the bottom. I'm right on the bottom, right on the disc. So he decides to drive in wide open on top of the Lego blocks, bikes up because he hits the berm and the Lego blocks, drives over my nose. While this is happening, he's still wide open. He crushes my nose because he starts flipping because he bikes up, pushes us both up the track. He's flipping, still wide open because when he flipped and he was still on the gas, it ended up flipping me over and then flipping him back over on all fours. Just unbelievable. I don't really have any words for it besides obviously we just got flat out wrecked there battling for the transfer spot. And the biggest thing about it that's actually frustrating is like if he would have just waited a lap, he might have actually got by me if I made a mistake on the white flag lap, and then maybe worst case scenario I'm in a B and he transfers, or he's in a B and I transfer. But instead, because of the desperate move, we both go to the back of the D main event. And that's one of the biggest things I've noticed in Outlaw carts that I've been observing is some of these younger kids that are moving up from 250 and open intermediate, they just don't have a lot of respect for guys that have been in the open class for a while. When I moved in the open class 4 years ago, I was nervous to race around the big dogs because I felt like I was fast enough and I could compete and I was a young kid, but I always wanted to earn their respect and I wanted them to want to race with me and know that when I'm racing by them, I'm not going to wreck them or do anything desperate. And unfortunately now at Red Bluff, that's just a lot less common and younger guys will just drive into your door for no reason when you cleanly pass them at the beginning of the race. So, and the other part of the problem, and this is just talking more in general terms with a lot of people moving up through the classes, is their parents feed into it. They don't really think that it's an issue what their kid's doing or how they're driving. A lot of times it's just a racing deal to them. So it's just unfortunate that that ruined our night. Obviously we had the opportunity to come through the D to the A main event and we weren't able to make it happen, and that's partly on me. I just wasn't able to put myself in the right spot to advance all the way through. My teammate Landon Brooks and Kobe Copeland were successful in going all the way from the D to the A. So congratulations to them. They were absolutely up on the wheel. Real quick, before we end the video, I want to give a huge shout out to QRC Karts as usual. Factory QRC and Jimmy Elledge always have my back at Red Bluff. They build the best outlaw carts in the nation, and it's continuously proven with the results on track. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your support watching the videos. Sorry to end 2020 on such a downer note. Some things are just out of your control. Anyway, we will talk soon. I have a lot more fun content to end the year in these last few days. Hopefully you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we will talk soon. Deuces.